that you are holy, set apart, one of a kind. As we come together in this gathering, this ecclesia, your church, the called out ones, we thank you for the message that you would speak to us today, the way that you would speak to our hearts, Lord God. Speak past our intellect today. Speak past the troubled thoughts that's bothering us today. Speak down into our souls today, that we may give you honor, glory, and praise, and that we may step out of here with a brand new step. We praise you and we thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. 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 Come on, let's give God a praise. And here this morning, listen, tell the person next to you, say, God is doing a brand new thing with you. God is doing a brand new thing with you. Look at the person, because you might not be near nobody. Look at the person back behind you. Say, God is doing a brand new thing with you. Anybody remember these? Anybody remember these? This is why I want you to understand that you have to stay in the fight. You got to stay in the fight. God is doing a brand new thing with you, and you have to stay in the fight. During the Nationals run, the Nationals just won the championship. Let's give them God a thanks for them. But they just won the championship. So if you're in the DC area, but they used this theme throughout the playoffs, and it was saying they made these shirts and it said "Stay in the fight." It said, "Do what?" Stay in the fight. What I want you to understand, they made these shirts from an underdog perspective. They were underdogs, and the underdog. Anybody understand what an underdog is? Anybody ever been an underdog? Anybody, so if you know what an underdog is, or you ever been an underdog, God delights in underdogs. And what God is saying to us today is stay in the fight, because I'm doing a brand new thing. And if you don't give up, it says the race is not given to the swift, but the one who endures, who finished the race. So if you don't give up, God got something for you to see. And it's for you, but you got to stay in the fight. And so the brand new thing that God was doing with the underdogs, he told the underdogs, don't look at the odds that's against you. Don't look at the things that's stacked up against you. Don't look at all the people who are applying for the job. Don't worry about the people who are applying for the job. Don't worry about the people who are walking through the door before you. Stop looking at everybody else that's going ahead and seem like they're getting blessed, because I need you to stay in the fight, because you got a blessing that nobody has seen. No, it hasn't entered nobody's heart. They have don't even no clue as to what it would look like. But you got to stay in the fight. Look at the person next to you, say, stay in the fight. You talking to somebody today, and you don't know how you talking down into their soul, because somebody wants to give up. As we were singing a song, I was about to interrupt, and I said, no, I'm letting this flow. But it was saying, take my heart, take my mind, take my soul, but never let me go. And the reason why that's important is because somebody ain't feel like God is about to let you go. And God has said, no, baby, I got you. No, son, I got you. No, daughter, I got you. I got a hold of you, and I got a hold of you. Stay in the fight, because there's something I want to do with your life. Anybody remember these right here? Anybody remember these? These right here? You remember these? I'm dating myself a little bit, but you remember this camera right here? And the reason why I say when I say God is doing a brand new thing, he began to say every time I say God is doing a brand new thing, immediately something old will pop up in your mind. So while God is saying I'm doing a brand new thing, all you can do is remember an old picture that keep popping up in your mind to keep you stopped from seeing that God is doing a brand new thing. And so he keeps saying, look, you keep looking at that old picture. You're looking at that old picture of who you were, or who people said you were, or people who said you would never amount. Do I got anybody ever been spoken to in a way that said you would never amount to nothing? You'll never be this. And so these old pictures keep popping in your mind to make you unqualified. But it ain't you that qualify yourself. It's Jesus that qualifies us, because he's died on the cross for me. Who am I that you so special that you would die on the cross for me? Who am I that even after dying 2,000 years later, you will come back and pick up and find little old me? You understand? But he said, stay in the fight, Demond. You keep looking at the brand new thing, and every time I say brand new thing, as soon as I say brand new thing, the old picture keep popping up. It just keep popping up. It keep popping up. And when I grew up, we used to take our pictures like this, and you put them away, and then later on you go back to try to get them, and if you ain't put them in that, remember that little sheet with the plastic on top of it? But if you ain't put it in that sheet with that plastic over top of it, and you go back to get that picture be all distorted and cropped up and a bad image. And what happens is, what God is saying, some of y'all been through some things where the picture has got distorted, it has cracked up, and it's bad. But all you can see is the bad image that the cracked up picture is now displaying. And you forgot that I've had a plan for that person. That I've been saw you, that I've been in you before then. So God is saying, some of us keep playing with these old pictures. Do anybody got any old pictures that keep popping up in your mind, that keep playing in your mind, that keep saying, this is why you're not this? What happens when an old picture that you have of yourself doesn't serve you anymore? Do anybody understand what I mean when I say that? What happened when the old picture of the insecure you doesn't support you anymore? What happened when the old picture of the person that was touched don't support who you are today? What happened to the picture of the old person that didn't have the education doesn't support who you are today? What happened when that old picture that made you abandoned or angry or something doesn't serve you anymore today because you're not abandoned? That you're not, because you know why? You really won the fight. You ain't understand what I'm saying? Through the blood of Jesus, we already won the fight, and God is trying to now invite you into the place where He want to see you as a winner and not a loser. He want to see you where you're developed. So what happens when the old picture don't support you no more? Anybody got some old pictures that's still current? I'm serious. Like if you married, you could be married. And for my single women or single brothers that's planning on getting married, you could be married, but then you can still have an old picture in your new marriage. But the old picture don't support who you are. See, the old me was always abandoned and always waiting for somebody to run out on me. And now we're about to celebrate 19 years in a row. But my old picture don't serve me no more. Last night, let me tell you, where my son is. He in here, he might not be in here. But he is. Everybody give God a praise for this young man, young teen. He turned 14 years old yesterday. Come on, boy, stand up. When you get 14, you get cool. And you get slow. But go ahead, let's give God a praise for his life. Right? And the reason why I say the old you don't support you no more is because this morning we celebrate his birthday, got him some gifts and stuff like that. But he came to me this morning and he said, "Can I have some money for my birthday?" At 14. "Can I have some money for my birthday?" I said, "How much money you want?" He said, "Give me $20 or something." $20. And I just laughed. And he said, "You got good son." That's because the old picture of who I am don't support who I am today. Right. As soon as he said, "Give me $20," at 14 years old, I immediately went back to the old picture of who I was and what I was doing at 14 years old. And I wasn't asking for no $20. Do you understand what I'm saying? But this boy is asking me for $20. Don't you know he's going to be blessed? Somebody under the sound of my voice is going to give him $20. You understand what I'm saying? Just because. Like, come on, man, you deserve it. Yesterday we went out, we was buying them gifts, and then my old picture began to say, "Man, do you realize how much money we spent on you today? And I was going down my eye, I had it going. I'm talking about going, scripted and everything. You sound just like my grandmother. Right? That's how I was. And God said, "Why are you saying this? This doesn't support who you are today. It doesn't support you at all. And don't you feed this into his mind." And you know what I end up saying? Even after running down all that, I begin to say, you know what? You're worth every dime and more. You're worth every dime and more. Here's what the Spirit told me this morning as I was getting up. I saw this man, he went into this consignment shop. And when he went to the picture, he took this picture and he took some other stuff that he was getting in his basket, and he began to say, oh man, but he had a smile on his face like, I got good use for this. I got good use for this. This was junk. This was something that somebody put to the side. And this man was going over there saying, ooh, I got good use for this. Here's what I want you to understand. God is the man in the consignment shop. And you're the one that's sitting in the corner, and he's coming to grab you and saying, oh, I got good use for this. Oh, I can't wait till I use this. But you keep seeing that old picture. And what I want you to understand, that old you don't serve the new picture God has created. It don't support it. It don't support it. Do I got any brothers and sisters who understand what I'm talking about? I hope this visits you right where you're at, because here's what God is saying. While I'm doing a brand new thing, in this old camera, they used to have a flash system that went on top. Anybody remember those? Used to put the cube of flashes up there, and when you flash, all the old ones burn out. They ain't no good no more. And what happens is what God is saying, the burned out ones, those your past. But every time he begin to say, I'm doing a brand new thing, the old burnt out past keep flashing up. It keep popping up. And God is saying, you keep letting your past pop up, and I'm trying to show you your future. I had already replaced that old burnt out past with a brand new future, and you ain't even seen it yet. And I'm telling you, it's so bright, and awful. I'm talking about a brand new unseen thing. But all you keep saying is the flashes of the past. God said, I'm doing a brand new thing. Then in fact, in Isaiah 43, he said, I'm doing a brand. Do you not even see it? Do you not even grasp it? And the reason why I'm telling you this is because God got to get this brand new picture of who you are down inside of you. Because the doors he's opening up and the invitation that he's walking you to. Today I watched a young lady when we did the tithes and offerings. I watched a young lady take her check out and was so happy to be able to put her check in that basket in obedience to what God has told her. Because God is doing what? Brand new thing. You speaking of offering, you know, sometimes when God is really blessing you, God is really blessing you. And what ends up happening is you keep going with the old mindset, dropping $1 in to say thank you. Everything that you get is really a blessing and a gift from God. Everything, every dollar. Every new dollar is a gift from God. You hear me? Especially when you forgot when you ain't have it. And God is saying, now I'm blessing you. Ain't nowhere in the world somebody from your neighborhood, from your upbringing, supposed to be talking about this is their paycheck. And I got some brand new doors. The reason why you keep taking them any kind of jobs or any kind of, because that served you before. You ain't that. You a CEO. You a boss. You a manager. But you keep taking the job because that's the way you see yourself. And God is saying, no, update your resume. Update your resume, because that ain't how I see you. So God came to this dude. This is in Jeremiah 1, chapter 1. God came to him and gave him a message. And this message I want you to take in. I want you to get it down in your spirit. And I want you to change Jeremiah's name to your name. Right? So it says Jeremiah chapter 1. But this is the message that the Lord gave in chapter 4. Everybody, let's read it together. It says, the Lord gave me this message. I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. He said, you think I'm just coming to you now today when you're 40 years old? You think I'm just coming when you're 20? No, I've been knew you before you was formed in your mother's womb. I knew you before your father even said Sade. Oh, that's dating myself. That's dating myself, Sade. A youngin'. Boo-boo. Sweetheart. Long before he stopped her going into the bus. Saw her get on the bus and got on the bus behind her and sat on the chair next to her and just tried to look cute. Long before then, I knew you. I formed you in your mother's womb. Long before then, I've been knew you. So the message came to Jeremiah saying, why are you thinking this started today? Because what you need to understand about your past that's burnt out is every part of your past that's burnt out that you saw was bad. God took a quality from that picture and said, I'm going to use it because it was a good quality in it. What about your past? That God got a certain way of going into your past and using your past. I tell youngers that I mentor all the time that the ones that's in the street trying to do bad or make a choice to do bad, I'm saying, Shorty, you don't know that you are really you really running a corporation like that? You don't know that you're really a CEO? It takes a lot. You know what a CEO does? He manages employees. You know what he does? He handles payroll. You know what a CEO does is get new product and put new product out and keep product in rotation. So what are you doing, Sean? You think you just on a corner? No. God, he said this is the message. So imagine the message coming to you and you say your name. The message coming to who? And he said this. I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. Only God can do this. Before you were born, I did what? Before you was born, I did what? So before you was even born, before you was even thought of, I already had a plan for you. I already set the plan in motion for you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the picture that you've been seeing, and I'm going to invite you into the new person that I'm calling you into. You still see yourself as one way, but I'm inviting you. Say you've been invited by God into a brand new life, into a brand new thing, into brand new doors that you never even thought you would walk in. And so he says this. He's saying, I knew you. You don't want to keep your present. Your present doesn't serve you anymore. Your past doesn't serve you anymore. Your past keep you out the doors. Your present gonna have you walk through the doors. Wednesday morning, I'm going to sit in the Supreme Court. You didn't even hear what I said. Wednesday morning, I'm sitting in the Supreme Court. I sat in the Supreme Court before. And the way I said it before, don't serve people who are here. God is doing a new thing. Do you understand? I'm sat in a different seat in the Supreme Court. Now I want you to pay attention to what's going on in the Supreme Court this week, because it can look different. There was a plan to put America great. You don't have to be fearful of it because you've been set apart. And God is his hand is on you, he's going to take care of you. But you do need to be praying because you do have that power. You need to be praying over what's about to happen this week in the Supreme Court. Probably everybody not paying attention, and since I got this audience, I'm going to go ahead and let you know. Stop paying attention to all the Popeye sandwiches and the Popeye's lines. All that is let you know, let the government know that you are marketable and you're easy to be marketed to. And if they market to you, you're going to follow what they market you to. Right? And then they're going to give you some propaganda story that somebody got killed over a chicken sandwich. Ain't nobody getting killed over no chicken sandwich. Anybody busting line in the cafeteria, in the school cafeteria, is going to get dealt with. You understand? So let's not make it about but what they're trying to do is they're trying to reverse you and put you all the way back. The Supreme Court is going to go all the way back to the 1800s this week. They're going to open up a law book from the 1800s to try to move the needle of the black and brown man back to slavery. You think about a chicken sandwich. Well, that's just take you back to chitlins. Something different. That just take you back to show you can eat anything, scraps, whatever it is, but he just want to show you. So on the other circuit, on Tuesday, the DACA is up. Y'all don't even know what the DACA is I'm talking about. Right? But that's where they're trying to send all the Mexicans and Spanish people back to their country. And the DACA. And on Tuesday, the ruling will be in the Supreme Court about this whole thing. So you can wake up Wednesday morning and everybody be headed back to. You know what it's like? It's like those yellow signs you see up in the neighborhood, and you be like, what's some signs up for? And they say hearing, and you ain't paying no attention to the hearing. And all of a sudden you ain't paying no attention. Then all of a sudden when everything starts changing, you be like, what happened? You're supposed to go to the hearing. Because your voice counts. And what this whole message is about is a message that God has put in your mouth that you haven't spoken yet. Here's why I'm telling you this. He said, before you was formed in your mother's womb, before you was born, I set you apart and appointed you as a what? A prophet. You know what a prophet is? A messenger. I set you apart as a messenger. There's something that there's a message that you got to get out there, but you keep sending out the wrong message. And so he said, don't change, don't stop. Most people, when they start changing and they realize they set apart, first thing they do is go post on social media. I'm done, y'all. I see y'all next year. No, stay on social media, but just change the message that you're saying. Stop letting them think that you're ignorant and let them know that you know something. But I set you apart and appointed you as a messenger to the what? Nations. Nations mean people. So I made you a messenger to people. I set you apart, Damon, to be a messenger to people. I set you apart. What's your name? Greg? Yeah, I set you apart, Greg, to be a messenger for people. I set you apart. So now you're a messenger. I've been did this. And then he said, to be a messenger to people, oh sovereign Lord. I said, this is his response. Everybody read this. So this is our response. Oh sovereign Lord. I said, I can't speak for you. I'm too young. He then gave him the brand new picture. I set you apart. I knew you before you was born in your mother's womb. And look at the response. I can't speak for you. I'm too young. Did you hear what I said? I set you apart before you was born in your mother's womb. Did that go over your head? I set you apart before I formed you in your mother's womb. And I appointed you. I appointed you as a messenger to nations. And now you're still telling me you can't speak for me? And then he said this. He went on, he said this. The Lord replied, don't say I'm too young. For you must go wherever I send you and say whatever I tell you. And don't be afraid of the people. And the reason why you're not speaking is because you're afraid of the people. The reason why you're not doing what God is saying do is because you're afraid of the people. The reason why you're not speaking up is because you're afraid of the people. Even as I just told you about the two things in the Supreme Court, the first thing that try to come up is you don't want to say that because you're afraid of the what? But when you set apart, what can man do to you? What can he do to you? He set apart. When he set you apart, that means that any weapon that's formed against you, it won't prosper. But the thing about it is we got to wake up and hear. But the reason why we're not hearing is because the messengers are not speaking. You think you got 3,000 friends on Facebook that don't even know you. You think you got 5,000 friends that don't even know you. You know why they befriended you? Because somebody else befriended you. And you look a little popular. And God said, no, I let them befriend you because there's somebody that I'm trying to reach. But in the middle of me trying to reach them, I'm trying to make you understand that you're the messenger that I want to reach them. But if you don't know your value, then you'll just succumb to who they are and dummy down who you are and be silent because you're so afraid of the people. And you got to start telling yourself, what can man? And don't be afraid of the what? For I will be what? Come on, let's read it. For I will be with you. And I will do what? Protect you. So if he's with me and he's with you, what you afraid of? And on top of that, he said, I'll protect you. I'll protect you. I remember one time I went to go to these dudes, and my brother said, go ahead and fight them. I'm going to be right here. I saw my brother right there. I was like, let's go. It's on. That's like no matter what happened, he gonna protect me. So that means when you see me going to the ground, right, you gonna get there. He gonna protect me. When you see, God is saying, I'm gonna be with you and I'm gonna protect you. Here's why I'm telling you this. He said, look, come on, let's go. I'll be with you and I'll protect you. I, the Lord, have spoken. Then the Lord reached out and touched my mouth and said, what God is doing today, you've been invited to this place. Because what God is doing today is God is trying to reach down and touch your mouth. He's trying to reach down and touch your mouth. But you got a mouth. It's not saying what he wants you to say. You understand? I ain't offending nobody because I do want you to understand. You do got a mouth on you. But let's change the message and what we say. Yeah. Let's change the narrative. Let's change the narrative of what we say. Even when there's things that you should never say as a child of God. There's things you should never say as a child of God. There's certain words, and I'm not a ruler, and I don't have no rule sheet to tell you what you should say. But I can tell you to something like this. You should not say words like, oh, that's just karma. You know what karma is? Karma is Buddhism, right? It is, and so what you're basically saying, and what karma is saying that karma really means they believe in reincarnation. So it's nothing that you do in this life that you will get karma for. If only if you believe in reincarnation, then you'll come back and then you'll receive the karma. We don't believe in no reincarnation. We believe that we'll be in the final resting place with our Lord and Savior for a place that he prepared for us, and we'll be in heaven forever. So we should never say words like karma. That's just karma coming back to us. What? What you mean? If karma come back to us, then that means we've been here before. That means that we don't serve God, and the God who said that I forgive you for all things, past, present, and future, we just so he said, I touched, then the Lord said to me, I want you to go home and I want you to consecrate your mouth. The Lord said to me, I speak my wife away. Then the Lord said to me, why do you keep saying that? I speak her away. Go ahead and roll out there. That's on you. That's it. I ain't tripping. I speak her away. Then the Lord touched my lips and said, why are you saying that? Start saying loving things to her. Try to let your words be seasoned with salt. Try with your apologies, not telling her how to apologize to you, but you apologizing to her for the way you said it. Try that. Try letting your mouth. Try that. Then the Lord touch your mouth. Everybody touch them. Then the Lord touched my mouth. And he gave me new words. You know what he told me today? Some of y'all trying to get off Facebook. He said, no, pray and post. Touch your mouth. Pray and post. Should I post this? Pray and post. If your prayer says no, don't post it. But if you pray and post, you'll begin to wake up the nations and the people who need to hear you. Tap the person next to you, say, you got influence. You got major influence. The same influence that you had in your past, God is going to use that past to influence your future even greater. So the Lord touched my mouth and said, you know, I don't know how, you know, I'm working. Then the Lord touched my mouth and he said, look, I have put my words in your mouth. Today, I appoint you to stand up against people and kingdoms. I appoint you to stand up against nations and kingdoms. I put my word in your mouth. This may be a little too much for you. Some of you must uproot. Then he said this, some of you he was talking about different seeds. He said, some of you must uproot. Some of you must uproot some things that you had planted that was bad. I got this little thing that I do with people, and I take a plate, right? I take a plate, and I wish I had it right now because it just came to me, but I take a plate, and then I take a tube of toothpaste, and I take everything. Who got a problem with their mouth? Who got something that they regret that they said that came out a little faster than they intended and wish they could take it back, but couldn't? Okay, so here's a practical example you can go do today. Take a plate, right? And when you take a plate, I want you to go and I want you to take a tube of toothpaste. And if you can go to the dollar store and get it. But go get a plate, take a tube of toothpaste. Then I want you to take the toothpaste and squeeze it on the plate as fast as you can. And squeeze the whole tube out. Squeeze it out so you get it all on the plate. Then I want you to take every piece of that toothpaste off the plate and put it back into the tube. What y'all say? It's what? What I want you to understand is easier to come out, but impossible to put back. So now you'll start to think about the words that you say. You'll think, instead of just spitting it out so fast, you'll begin to think about the words you say. I dare somebody go home and try that today and see how I look. See how I look and say, look, I can't take these words back. So if I can't take these words back, let me not even say them. What God just did was gave you an insight into insight into hindsight. Amen. That's my new thing. Insight into what? Hindsight is the richest knowledge in the world. But what if God gives you insight into hindsight? Meaning that he shows you before it even happened. So when you look back, you'll see that God was with you all the time. Look, he said, I appoint you. And some of you must uproot. And then some of you must tear down. Because God is saying today, I've consecrated you. I'm consecrating you. I'm setting you apart. There's something that's going to happen in December that you ain't even ready for. But I'm concentrating you for it. I'm setting you apart. I'm saying, God, whoa, what happened over the last couple of weeks? We've been having consecration. We've been putting oil. We've been calling you down front. We've been putting oil. We've been touching people. I've been touching areas in my life. I've been touching my mouth with oil. I've been touching my mouth and consecrate. I've been touching my hands and consecrating my hands. I've been touching my feet and consecrating my feet. And I'm saying, God, take my feet where you want them to go. Show me what you want to see. This week I got invited to Radio 1. I get invited to Radio 1 because I consecrated my feet to go where you want me to go. So when I got the invitation, I had something else to do. I canceled that. Go to the invitation. I'm sitting in Radio 1, sitting in the break room, all these personalities walking in there, and I'm looking like, what in the world is going on? Right? How have I got here? And God said, because you set yourself apart from me. I've been wanting to show you this picture. I get there, they open up the doors, they got doors open, they take me into a big old boardroom. I'm sitting in a boardroom, the general manager of Radio 1 comes in. Come in, sat across from me, and God said, I already anointed your lips. Already did what? There's a thing I need you to write this down. Say salt. Salt. Here's how you engage yourself in any room. Say salt. S. Start the conversation. Write it down for yourself. Start the what? It ain't nothing but a hello. Start the conversation. The A. Ask questions. Ask questions. Start to ask questions. Y'all ready for L? Listen. Listen to keep you in any door. It's better to be interested than interested. It's better to be interested than interested. Listen. Then tell your story. I own a car dealership for those that don't know. And I'm sitting in this boardroom with the GM, and I sat down with him, and when I sat down, he's sitting across from me, and he keeps saying, this the pastor? This the pastor? I don't know what picture you looking at. Absolutely. And then he said, oh, can I take this one last call before we start the meeting? We in the room. So he took the call, and he said, I got an ad running on the radio because I sell cars. I said, start the conversation. Ask the question. The dude that was sitting next to me said, he owned the dealership. We're in the middle of the meeting, supposed to be handling some other business. He keep coming back to me saying, hold on. You telling me God sent you in here to me? And I'm saying, I'm trying to figure out how I got here. And God said, because I sent you a partner. I've been having plans for you. I am trying to consecrate you. Today, I just want to ask you a few questions as we get out of here. Right? He said, the question I want to ask you is, how do God see you? How do you think God see you? Really, how do you think God see you? Because even in them old Polaroid pictures, remember them Polaroids used to take the picture, they snap, and then you had to wait for what? Wait for it to develop. And Mr. G used to snap it and put it on the table. And you just sat there, and then he rubbed a little bit on the back of it. Bop, bop, bop. Because he already know what it looked like. He took the picture. Well, God is saying, what you seeing is your pose. I already saw the picture. I'm just developing it. I'm waiting for a development. And you could wait till he peeled the little thing off. When he peeled it off, he was like, what? That was us. Or you'll say, take it again. What he's saying is this. What he's saying is this. I'm developing a picture of you. What I want you to understand is the way God sees you is not the way you see yourself. The way God sees you is not the way you what? See, sometimes what you got to understand, I went to visit a brother in the hospital, and I asked God for new eyes. And when I walked in the hospital, somebody told me what his condition might be. But when I walked in the hospital, I saw him healed while he was hurting. I saw him already walking while he was laying in the bed. God already sees you healed while you're hurting. God already sees you blessed while you're broken. God already sees you. God already sees you favored when all odds are against you. God already sees you winning when it looks like you're going to lose. God already sees you as a champion. You understand? How do God see you? How do he see you? You got to know he sees you blessed when you're broken. How do God see you? God is trying to get this picture of you being blessed and how he favored into you so you can walk in the picture that God is inviting you to. Amen. You walk in the door, not because you like that, because he set you apart, because he already blessed your mouth. He already opened up doors for you. He walked down doors. November 26th, a brother this week called me on the phone. He said, listen, I want to, he said, now he got 3 kids, he got a wife, family. He only go to the church. He called me on the phone on the other day and said, are y'all doing anything for Thanksgiving? I said, we trying to. We desire to. He said, no, matter of fact, it don't even matter. What I'm about to do, I'm about to cash out you some money, and when I cash out you the money, do whatever you want with the money. I'm about to cash out you the money. Well, here's the thing. God's already worked on the picture. He know I ain't going to no daggone Marshalls. So he sent the money. November 26th, mark your calendar. We catering dinner for 200 people. Or Caroline Community Center. So we're going to participate in a catered dinner. Tomorrow, the registration will go out. When you register at Caroline Community Center, 200 people can register, 200 families can register, and dinner will be catered for them. So we need your participation and we need your help. When we ask for the envelopes in the beginning and we ask for Givelify and all that stuff, that is the only opportunity for us to keep reaching the community. December 20th, we're going to come right back. November 26th, December 20th, we're going to bless over 1,000 families with a thing called Winter Wonderland. I called the brother the other day. Here's what you got to get brand new guys. You got to concentrate. I called the brother the other day. Hey, I asked the dude, I said, I need you to participate in Winter Wonderland. He said, oh, you need my money. I said, Because what he tried to do was give me the old picture of who I am. I said, no, what I need for you to do is to be blessed. And what I want you to understand is he said, how? I said, when you bless those people, blessings coming back to you. I ain't asked you to give me $1. Give to those people. Give to that community. Give to our community. Give to us. Come over. And when you give to them, you're going to set yourself up to be blessed. Here's what I want you to understand. Immediately when I said, get yourself together for December 20th, the first thing you start thinking about is your finances. All you need to do is open up your mouth. Go to people and say, hey, I need y'all to make a donation for Winter Wonderland. Matter of fact, if you don't want to make a donation, I need you to participate in Winter Wonderland. What we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to serve 1,000 kids, over 1,000 kids, gifts and toys. And all you got to do is open up your mouth and the door will be open. Let me tell you the last thing, the reason why it's important how God sees you. Is because what God has done is God is blessing us, even in this realm, in this circle. God is blessing us with people who now take over other things. The reason why the needle is moving is because it ain't all demand push the needle. Georgette and Frederick and the sound and audio people, they're now going out on social media and putting up stuff. Not because I put it up there, they put it up there. But every time they put it up there, you know what it's like? God invited me to see myself the way he see me. You know why I wouldn't be putting nothing up there? Because I'll filter everything. And God has said, too many of y'all spending too much time with yourself filtering and editing who you are. And all I want you to do is just walk in who you are. I'll make you look good. Don't worry about it. I'll put the light behind you. I'll shine down on you. I'll make you look bright. You keep looking at yourself, but I'll make you look real good. All you gotta do is keep walking in me. But you take a whole hour to post a picture that you disappointed in. And waiting on people to say, you look good. Are you serious? So now this team that came along and they said, no, we're going to post it. And I can't even call them back and say, take that down. But when I look, I'll be like, who is that? And God said, that is me and you. And me and you is greater than you and you. So the question is, how do God see you? And somebody here think that God don't see him at all. Somebody think God don't see him at all. God said, no, I see you. And I know you. And he said this, God is trying, come on, let's get this, read this together. God is trying to get this picture of consecration down inside of you. Consecration down inside of you. He's trying to, that's typo thing, whatever. But what area of your life do you have to consecrate to God? What area of your life do you have to consecrate to God? That's the end. What area? Is it your mouth? Is it somebody got hand problems? Somebody got ankle problems? Somebody got heart problems? Somebody got heart problems? Somebody past is more present and hurt them now in the present more than the incident happening in the past? What area you got to concentrate? Is it your eyes? What area? Is it your mind? Your mind running and racing and running you down in anxiety and depression? What area do you got to concentrate to God? What area? Everybody got an area. Anybody don't have an area? Good. Then what area is it? What is he saying? Set apart for? What if we do this today? What if we do this? It said, who shall ascend to the hill of the Lord? But those with clean hands, clean hearts. So today God is saying, I'm trying to clean you up. I'm trying to clean up something that ain't going to serve you even today. You're going to go home and try to roll right back into your attitude, but your attitude ain't even going to serve you today. You're gonna go and you're gonna try to, you know, I used to get mad when people bust in line, but guess what? If somebody busts in line for me today, and I'll get tested today in this, but if somebody busts in front of me in line, you know what I do? Don't trip. I told somebody 3 weeks ago, I told somebody about a month ago, I was like, man, this guy, he challenged me one time on a church retreat. I got into an altercation with this dude, and I'm the leader, and I got everybody following me, and I got everybody on the bus, and I'm trying to settle the matter, and then all of a sudden I get into an engagement with this guy. And this little guy on the back of the bus, I'm just in my little element. What you talking about? Little guy on the back of the bus, I don't even know he looking. He come up to me a couple days later, he said, Demond, man, you powerful. And I respect you so much. He said, but I got one question. I said, what? He said, well, every time something happens, you go to this street dude so fast. Nobody see this street dude? I just told you some scriptures. No. But inside, my old picture keep playing. And they keep popping off. Pop! Like the film. Pop! Flashes of my old self. He said, why do you keep going to that street dude? And I'm surrendered it to God. I said, God, I don't want to be that street dude no more. This was about 8 years ago. I said, I don't want to be that street dude no more. Guess when I killed the street dude? 2 months ago. This was 8 years ago, but I've been working on a dude all this time. Now I understand he's strong. And he's strong as I make him. So I had to wrestle with him. But I want you to understand something. We won the fight. We won the fight. I wrestled with him. So I told him about 2 months ago, you don't serve me no more. You don't serve me no more. See, I go to parts stores, so I go in like AutoZone, Advanced Auto, and the only place that got it is the hood. Any part that you're looking for is always in the hood. So when you walk in the hood, you're going to get high just standing in line. People rude, they nasty, all that. And my street dude can handle all that. But this new creature be challenging me. And then I sat there and I just looked at him and said, and he said, no weapon formed against you will prosper. And although they busting in line, and although they rude, and although she helping everybody else, why are you worried about all that? You get up there, already got a plan for you. And I just said, ooh. And the dude turned around and said, Slim, no Slim here. Slim here, I'm saying Slim, it's good. Hey, I'm not Slim. I used to be like, who you call Slim? I'm not Slim. Hey, I'm Demond. And you know what's really amazing? He always sends somebody else to remind you of who you are and allow them to see you more than you see yourself. And the person in the back, one day I'm standing in line and a dude come in and he say, hey, Pastor, what's happening? Now the lady in the back that always messed with me, now every time I come out, when they say Slim, she be looking at me like, let me see what you gonna do, Pastor. Now the whole AutoZone be looking at me like, you a pastor? Yeah, not Slim. That's not it. But if you got an area you need to consecrate to God, I want you to stand to your feet. And I don't want you to take this matter lightly. I want you to stand to your feet. And God might be saying, you did this before. That old picture might be saying, you did this before. You did this before. Well, I'm doing it again. You said this before. Well, I'm saying it again. But this time, I ain't going to do it in my own power. I'm going to consecrate this area to God. Now I want you to pray because only you know the area. If it's your heart, pray for your heart. If If it's your eyes, pray for your eyes. If it's your thoughts, pray for those. You know the area. He hear you. He hear you. He hears you. He hears you. Lord, we stand here and we thank you for even hearing our prayers. Father, you said, cast your cares on you because you care for us. Care to hear what I'm saying right now, Lord. Lean your ear to me as I lean my ears back to you to hear what you're saying. Today, Father, people are breaking generational curses right now with their lips. Touch their lips as they pray. They're breaking generational addictions that don't serve them well no more. And even a day when their body parts go back to participate in that thing, make you show them how they set apart. Put messages in their mouths. Give them messages to speak to people today to set people free. Let them not worry about the results. Just speak the message. Touch their feet, touch their head, touch their body. Bless them where they are broken. Bless them. Where they're mourning, comfort them. Where they're hurt, heal them. Where they're ill, heal them by the blood of Jesus. Everybody repeat after me. Say, Lord, hear my cry on this day. As I cry to you, and only you can answer it. Let me not worry about the person or people that I have been afraid of. For now, I stand as you protect me. If there's somebody here that don't know the Lord as their Lord and Savior, don't know Jesus as their Lord and Savior, this is your perfect opportunity. You can just raise your hand right now in the room. Can't nobody see you, but it's good coming to church and things like that, but there's a thing called salvation. That's a permanent residence with Jesus. And as that permanent residence, he wants to spend that with you. And it says confess with your mouth, and then later on, it also says believe in your heart. But just the confession part is all he wants. The believing he will invite you to. That's how I got here. So if that's you, just raise your hand. That's you. Amen. Amen. I see your hand. I see your hand. I see your hand. Bless you. Bless you. I see your hand. I see your hand. It's okay. Bless you. I see your hand. It's okay. Now I want you to grab a hand next to you. Because that person raised their hand. And they're not ashamed. And he knows who they are. Make sure you grab somebody's hand. Grab their hand. He knows who they are. The reason why I told you to grab somebody's hand, because I want you to understand this decision, you're not alone. And it's not an isolated decision. God is inviting you to a whole family of believers. And as you grab that hand is a hand of love that God has been trying to reach to you for a long time. So we're going to pray this prayer. Say, Lord, I invite you into my heart to be my Lord and Savior. Father, forgive me for the things that I have done under my own influence. Now touch me, touch my mouth, touch my mind, touch my heart with your hand, and lead and guide me as my Lord and Savior. I surrender to you, and I surrender it all. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Accept this prayer as your daughter. Accept this prayer as your son. Bless the hand that I hold, Father. Bless them, increase all their asking Father. Increase their asking, Father. Increase in the name of Jesus. I ask you to just touch them and increase them right now, wherever they are. Touch their mind and increase their mind and set them free. And the one thing that they need to understand, he who the Son sets free is free indeed. Let's give the Lord a praise in this place this morning. Thank you. Look, hug somebody, say, God is developing you. God is developing you. You just got to be patient. Be patient. Be patient with yourself. Bless you. Bless you. Jennifer. Yes. Patient.